أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, do you know what the difference is between caste and caste? I hope you don't know. In this video, I'll talk about these confusing words, their past forms, because two of them are verbs and some phrases related to them and their usage in different sentences. Once again, my name is Wasim Dilzad, and don't go anywhere, watch the video until the end. Trust me, inshallah, you will learn a lot of things from this video. Let's begin. The first one is caste, C-O-S-T. Now this word caste is a noun as well as a verb. As a noun, it means qeemat. For example, we won't be able to cover the cost of the event. हम इस event के, हम इस तकरीब की कीमत को पूरा नहीं कर पाएंगे. We won't be able to cover the cost of the event. In this sentence, I use the word caste as a noun. As I told you, it's a verb as well. As a verb, it means कीमत होना या किसी कीमत में मिलना. For example, ये आपको कितने में मिल गए भाई? How much did it cost you? ये mobile phone मुझे 25,000 में मिल गया. You can say, this mobile phone cost me 25,000. This shirt cost me 500 rupees. Isn't it beautiful? It is, right? Now, the second form and the third forms of the verb caste are caste. They do not change, right? So in the past tense, I can say, ये घर हमें महंगी पड़ी. This house cost us a lot of money, right? The holiday cost them over 50,000 rupees. In the past tense, I used the verb caste and I did not change its form. It's still caste, right? Okay, you can say, this jacket only costs $10 cost. Now, there are so many phrases, as I told you at the beginning, that are related to this word. The first one is to cost someone dear. To cost someone dear means किसी को महंगा पड़ना. हम बोलते हैं ना, ये आपको महंगा पड़ेगा. This will cost you dear. वो हमको महंगा पड़ गया. In the past tense, what do I do? I still use the verb cost. I do not say costed. So I can say that cost us dear. ये जो आप कर रहे हैं, ये आपको महंगा पड़ेगा. Whatever you are doing right now, it will cost you dear. To cost someone dear means किसी को महंगा पड़ना. And you can put anything in the place of someone. To cost me, to cost you, to cost him, to cost them dear, right? The second phrase is at all costs. At all costs means हर कीमत पर. आपको हर कीमत पर यहाँ आना है. You have to come here at all costs. बच्चों को हर कीमत पर ये करना है. Children have to do it at all costs. आपको हर कीमत पर जंग रोकनी है भाई. You have to avoid war at all costs. At all costs means हर कीमत पर. The next one, and there is a beautiful idiom in English that says to cost an arm and a leg. Now, if something costs you an arm and a leg, that means that thing is extremely expensive. जब कोई चीज़ बहुत महंगी होती है ना, तो हम बोलते हैं that thing costs an arm and a leg. For example, ये house, ये घर मुझे बहुत महंगे पड़ी. This house cost me an arm and a leg. This car cost me an arm and a leg. To cost someone an arm and a leg means to be extremely expensive. Now, expensive means mehenga, grand. And the opposite of the word expensive is cheap. Cheap means sasta. It's cheap and that word is expensive, right? The next word is caste, C-A-S-T. Now, this one is a verb. It means penkna. It has so many meanings, but the first one should be penkna. For example, Ali cast his book on the table. Now, once again, the second form of the verb cast is cast. It does not change, right? Ali ne kitab मेज पर फेंक दिया. Ali cast his book on the table. We do not say casted. And this word also means to register a vote. Vote देना. For example, how many votes were cast? कितने vote दिए गए थे? How many votes were cast? In the passive voice, we should use the third form, and the third form of the verb cast is cast. It does not change, right? It also means to direct one's eyes at something. Nazar मुड़ा लेना. For example, she cast down her eyes. उन्होंने अपनी निगाहें नीचे कर दी. She cast down her eyes, right? And once again, there are so many phrases related to this word. The first one is to cast a spell. To cast a spell means jadoo karna, pachakudi kawal. For example, the wizard cast a spell on the princess and she became a fraud, right? वो जो जादूगरनी थी, वो जो चुड़ैल थी, उसने प्रिंसेस पर, शहजादी पर जादू किया और वो मेंढक बन गई, right? The witch cast a spell on her and she became a beast. Witch. Now once again, witch means chudel. Witch. W-I-T-C-H. Witch. This witch means chudel. Now there is a beautiful tongue twister that comes to my mind that says, if two witches were watching watches, which witch would watch which watch? How was it? I hope it was terrible. Now once again listen. It says, if two witches were watching watches, which witch would watch which watch? अगर दो चुड़ैल एक घड़ी को देखते तो कौन सी चुड़ैल किस घड़ी को देखती? Which means चुड़ैल and this which means कौन सा या कौन सी, right? If two witches were watching watches, which witch would watch which one? The second phrase is to cast pearls before swine. Now, to cast pearls before swine means bens ke aage ben bajana, right? It means to offer valuable things to people who do not deserve them or understand them or respect them or know its value or who do not appreciate them, right? For example, you are going to lecture your friend about something, right? And your brother says, don't cast pearls before swine. Don't go and lecture him. He will not listen to you. He is a jerk. He's an idiot, right? Don't waste your time. I can say, I'm afraid you're casting pearls before swine by giving him your best advice. To cast pearls before swine means bens ke aage ben bajana. Now, a lot of the times people comment on my videos who say that why do I have to worry or care about too much about English pronunciation? Sometimes I do reply them, but more oftentimes I don't give a shit, right? Because I know it's like casting pearls before swine. I will lecture them, I'll teach them, I'll tell them the importance of English pronunciation, but at the end of the day, they will have the same question. Why English? Why pronunciation? We can still convey the message in our own accent. I don't talk about it. I don't reply these people because it's like casting pearls before swine, right? The third one is this one, caste. It's a noun and it means zat, right? For example, we do not believe in caste system. Hindus believe in caste system. They have Kshatriyas, they have Brahmins and stuff like that, right? In Islam, we do not believe in caste. We believe that all human beings are equal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, why do we believe that? Because the Quran says so. Where? The Quran says in Surah Hujurat, chapter number 49, verse number 13, Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakari wa untha وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ خَبِيرٌ. Allah says, O humankind, we have created you from a male and female and have divided you into tribes and nations and castes. Why? What is the reason of this? Why has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala divided us? Allah gives the answer. لِتَعَارَفُوا, so that you may know one another. Not that you may despise or hate one another. Now the purpose of this division is so that we may know one another, right? And further in the verse Allah says, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Indeed, the most loved, the most beloved and the most noble in the sight of Allah is the one who has taqwa, who has God consciousness, who has the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only criterion of distinction and priority in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to be loved and respected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to have taqwa. You have to offer your prayers. You have to give zakat. You have to go for hajj. You have to use good language. You don't have to use foul language. You don't steal. You don't rob. You don't rape. That's the only thing that's going to make you beloved in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Islam is beautiful, right? Islam does not believe in caste. All human beings are equal in the sight of Allah. And the only one who is loved and superior to the other person is the one who has taqwa, who knows Islam, who applies Islam in his life or in her life. That's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up and share the video with your friends. I'll see you in the next video. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.